close till I get up. Time is barely on our side. I don't wanna waste what's left. The storms we chase are leading us, and love is all we'll ever trust. Yeah, no, I don't wanna waste what's left. And on we'll go, through the wastelands, through the highways, till my shadow turns to sun rays. And on we'll go, through the wastelands, through the highways, highways, and on we'll go. We'll grow in number, fueled by them to see the horizon, turn us to thousands. And we'll grow in number, fueled by them to see the horizon, turn us to thousands. And on we'll go, through the wastelands, through the highways, till my shadow turns to sun rays. And on we'll go, through the wastelands, through the highways, and on we'll go.
Is there one guy missing from the other team? We need you. Just also if we connected our voice to it as well.
Well, if they can't hear us, we might as well start over.
Yeah. We'll make it one warm-up game to save up some time, I guess.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, we'll just cut. Well, they can play this through, but we'll just make it one more. This is awkward if you can hear us now. Alright, so apparently they can hear us now. So me and DF have been talking for the past, let's say, a good 6 minutes, and it seems like none of us was heard. We had a really good intro, we made some fun. But anyways, alright, so let's start again. Guys, welcome to our, actually forgot how many 6-man events we had, but our invitational 6-mans where we bring in 6 promising players this time around to have a show at what they can prove to us. Today I believe it's exclusive PC and Xbox players only, so that's really great to see. DF, can you tell us something about the Xbox players again?
Yes, yeah. So like Lazy said, like we invited the Xbox players as well. It's the first time we are accommodating them because there's been a lot of requests for us to also, you know, look at the Xbox community. Although it's relatively small compared to the PS4 and PC community, we were thinking, you know what, let's give these Oaks a chance as well. And yeah, tonight, you know, from the Xbox side, we have Basta, aka Datkins, some of you might know him as well, which is his team name. But he's playing on Xbox tonight, and the other guy that's also from Xbox is Shakes. And Shakes is a player that I recently met at the Afri Esports event hosted by ACGL and MWeb at the Grand West Arena in Cape Town. And I was very impressed by the Xbox players there, and you know, I saw the potential of people like, you know, Shakes, and I was thinking, you know what, it'd be really cool if RLX can invite him to a 6-man as well. And yeah, we have him today for you guys for the first time on stream.
Oh, that's a really good initiative. And it's actually really nice to see new players come in. You know, sometimes you don't. It's really hard to reach out to some of the new players, so it's nice to see them join in on the fun to see what we can do. So as well, before you weren't able to hear us. So basically, how RLX, the 6-man invitational works is first we have a few warm-up games before the actual best of 7, I believe, starts. So there's 2 warm-up games. As you can see, they're not your usual one. DF likes to mess around with his players. So today, this time, we have a drop shot rumble game, which I can only believe is either fun or very, very annoying. But at this stage, it seems like it is a close match, nonetheless. 2-1 at this stage with the blue team winning. But let's see what we can find out here. And as I say that, we have a tie game with 2-2 Sticky coming in, using the magnetic to push it right in.
Exactly like Laser said, we like to make it a little bit fun, a little bit irritating, a little bit just all around messing around with the players in the beginning, because this is an invitational, right? So we can do with them whatever we want. But basically, we have a best of 7 coming up after one more warm-up game, but we like to have 2 warm-up games just to get the guys, because you know what, these guys have been invited, they don't necessarily know each other that well, so for them also to, you know, get comfortable with each other in comms, have a bit of fun, we try and give them something to warm up with, which is then these can I say fun little drop shot games or
yeah, fun is very subjective. Fun is very subjective at this case right now, but yes, it's true, all these teams were randomly generated, none of them actually know each other or have played with each other before previously, so it's kind of like going into a random online game, but at this stage they are in comp, so it will be really interesting. Let's see what they can do. This is going to be a really hard game to cast, but we have 10 seconds left. We'll see if someone can do a last second goal. That is very close. Chill, try to push to the side. And we have an overtime already. So good things to come for the best of 7.
Yeah. I mean, if this is a, like you say, if this is a sign of things to come in the best of 7, I think we're going to have a lot of fun as casters, as people watching the stream as well. And I think before we go any further, we need to give a huge shout out to Link, who is sponsoring also tonight's prize pool, which for the first time in the 6-mans, we're having a 600 Rand prize pool as well. And yeah, courtesy of Link, we are able to host this tournament as well, and you know, give the players something extra to fight for as well, to get their share of that prize pool of 600 Rand for the first time in RLX 6-mans. So that's pretty cool as well.
Definitely, definitely. It's good, wholesome, fun Rocket League, and if you can win something in the end, then why not? These guys are just out here having fun. We're gonna have a great time today, guys. Please stick around as we can. And as I say that, Mr. Bass secures the goal with almost at the goal line, actually. That was a really well played.
Yeah, this is a very, very tight game. 3-2 and going over into overtime, and I think I'm really looking forward to the next one, because the next one was another warm-up match, and I have something up my sleeve here as well, so
Oh
it's going
my,
to be
it's not the same.
fun. No, it's going to
It's
be fun
not
to
the
see
same.
how the guys
Oh my.
adapt to this one. Yeah.
That's right. And they'll bamboozle the throw in their way. They probably just
Yes.
got used to the whole drop shot
Yes.
rumble thing, and then all of a sudden, like, nope, DF has another plan for you. So let's see what we have in store for you guys.
Yeah, no, this one, I was thinking of having a new Tokyo again, but I was like, yeah, that has been done before. So
Yeah.
I think we're gonna go to maybe a different game mode, different type of game mode. Maybe we can play with a different type of ball as well. That will be interesting. See what the
Uh,
guys think of that and how they adapt. But yeah, like we said, it's just good fun messing around with the guys, just get them to know each other. And after this last warm-up game, we will be officially starting the best of 7, where things will get serious, and we can then get right into the thick of things.
all I see is a cube, and I'm already pretty mad at you right now. Guys, a cube is not fun to play with at all. But let's just see how this happens. So the active mutators right now, for those of you who can't see on stream, you have a cube, you have normal rumble, and I believe you have high velocity as well in there.
Yeah. Whoops.
The ball is stuck in the middle. What is supposed to happen? Someone hit it. Wow. Siki actually saves it with a nice touch there. That is possibly the best save I've ever seen. Guys, this is a really hard match to cast. Like,
it is.
I don't know how you're gonna cast this, because we can't even read the bonds. I don't know how they're reading it, and they're the
And I mean, with Rumble, like, players are switching. You focus on one player, suddenly it's a different player. Yeah, no, it's just all around madness. And I mean, if it's for us like that, I can't imagine how it's for these guys.
It's a lot of raging cons, but hopefully they're all having fun. It seems like they are. Let's see what can happen. So Pega using the tornado. That he's using the new Tumbler car, which is a really good car, by the way. It came out, I believe, yesterday as itself.
Yeah. Have you played with any of those Batmobiles, Lazy?
Oh yes, I have. I've actually played with a Tumbler, and I think it's one of the better octane cars there is. At least it gives a bit of, well, you can't put anything on it, but it's actually nice to have.
Yeah.
It's pretty good. Have you tried any one of them?
Yeah, I've played with both of the new Batmobiles, and I do like them just for like a change. Like, I think that's what happens a lot. Like, these new cars come out and you're like, okay, I'm gonna play with this a bit, and you feel nice, you feel like you scoring some sick goals, and after a while you just switch back to your main, whichever that was, like your Dominus or Octane or whatever. But for me, I enjoy like the Tumbler especially is very cool. I've been wanting that for a long time, so I'm so glad they put that in. The difficulty I have with the Tumbler though is that I can't see the nose. Like if you watch it, like you can't really see the nose, so it's sometimes difficult to judge that hitbox. But it's a very fun card to play with.
It definitely is. I think probably my most difficult, I'm pretty sure some people might agree with it, is when you try to play into a casual game, you don't know which team you're on if you join in midway, because it's really hard to distinguish between blue and yellow, because they only have one color for the entire car.
Yeah.
There's been many times where I've actually been responsible for scoring own goals, and I'm really, it's a casual score an own goal and just leave because of embarrassment.
Yeah.
What can you do?
Yeah, no, definitely. And we're watching this game, and I see Mr. Yopigo trying out the new Batmobile in a high-stakes game tonight. So hopefully that works out for him, because I know sometimes it can take a while to get used to a new car. But like, I know with changing to a new car, sometimes it's like a honeymoon period that you go through where everything just works for you. You score nice goals. So maybe that's what Yopigo is looking for tonight.
Hey man, if it works, it works. I know he always tries using the new cars. I know he used to really love the Imperator when it came out, and it used to be his baby until literally 2 days later he was like, nope, I'm going back to my Octane. So He is really famous for that. So let's see if he sticks around or does something different. But at this
Yeah.
stage, it seems like people have actually managed to score a goal. We're tied up
Wow.
1-1. Biltong
Yeah.
and Droëwors. But still, 2.5 minutes.
Yeah.
Let's see how much frustrating this can get to.
Maybe what we can do, Lays, is just go a bit through the players as well. So that we've spoken
Yeah,
about
sure.
Mr. Bastaf G or Basta G, if a little bit tonight,
Yes.
aka Datkins, and I've been keeping an eye on him. He plays for Doha, Dragon Origay Art, one of the VS First Division teams at the moment, and he's the captain of that team as well. And I met him a while ago while he was not that high ranked, and in the space of a couple of months, basically, he climbed quite a few divisions and ranks, and I must say I'm really impressed with his mechanical ability these days. On our WhatsApp group, he's been posting some really cool looking shots that he's currently doing and playing. So yeah, I'm looking forward to see if he can pull off any of those tonight.
No, definitely. I actually pretty much agree with you. Full on, Bastav is probably one of the most, how do I say, quickly improved person that I've
Yeah.
actually met till date. I actually played with him before in an ACGL, and to see the difference between him and right now is actually shocking. To see that he has improved in such a short span of time. So really, really interesting or upcoming player to look at. Well, he's on Xbox, a player. Let's talk about your meeting with Mr. Leaks, the African esports. You see that you met him
Yeah.
there, and he did pretty well. How was his
Yes.
performance there?
Yeah, you're definitely right, Lazy. Like, so I went into Afro Esports not knowing some of the Xbox guys, and when I was there was a few Xbox guys like Alpha Zone and Shakes and Zen and Claw who I didn't know before, but then at Afro Esports I realized like these guys are like like high diamond champ players, and it's interesting then to meet them as well in person and have a chat to them, and I've been mentioning to you like um, Shake specifically, he went into Afro Esports relatively unknown, and he came out of that, as a podium finisher. Like
Oh
finishing, I
wow.
think, second or third in one of the tournaments as well, the 1v1 tournaments that was there. So, huge props to him for doing so well at a live event. So I think he is maybe also mentally quite strong with like high stakes games. So, we'll see what he can do tonight.
No, that's really good to see. It's really nice to see that there are actually people out there really good at the game, but they just do not know that there is an actual scene happening right now. So, RLX is proving to be a really nice place where new players can come in. And if you guys know people who actually love Rocket League, this is actually a really good time to get started. I mean, we got
Yeah.
local servers, we're getting a lot of support. I mean, something as fun as this is actually getting a sponsor support. It's a normal six-man,
Yeah.
we're all having fun, but it's getting sponsored. So please let them know of that. While we're on players, let's talk about some of our old players. Not old, but players that we're actually kind of aware of. People know. I mean, in the
Yeah.
team of Mr. Biltong, in the Biltong team, we always spoke about Bastav. We have Mr. Pego, the guy we spoke of before. He is probably, I believe, the guy to look out for. I believe he will
Yeah.
be one of the forerunners in the local
Yeah.
scene.
Yeah, he's playing for a team currently called Dexterity, and I know that they are, one of the most improved teams in the league as well, and they came out strong against a couple of big names, like playing against VXP and XD recently, where they managed to really hold their own. So, I know in the interview the other day that the RLX had with the XD guys, they said that one of the teams to look out for in 2018 would be Dexterity, and Yopigo is went in that team. So he's also a very good quality player. I know he plays a lot of ones as well. So one of the few players who actually enjoys playing ones.
Yes.
And I think maybe in a setting like this, sometimes where you have to rely on your individual skill, as not everyone knows each other that well, maybe that 1v1 skills will come in quite handy.
Definitely is one of the players to look out for. Really exciting thing to say. Before we go through this, let's just put a conclusion to our match right now. It seems that that Biltong team has I actually forgot we're having a match because I really didn't want to follow that. I'll be honest with you, but hopefully the stream enjoyed it. You listened to us talk really about the players while you enjoyed the stream. But Biltong seems to have won.
Droëwors' team do you think might be a danger man for tonight's games?
And Joe's team, I've heard great things from you about Mr. Shakes, so I want to see what he can do. But I'm aware of Siki and Genti. Those guys are really good players. I've played with them. Genti, really good player. Siki, famous YouTuber in the local community. He plays really well. He does some really highlight shots. I know those two will do really well. But I'm most excited to see what Shakes can bring in. I believe he will be the dark horse of this team. I believe he can really bring something, and it'll be really exciting to see.
Yeah, I agree with you as well in that sense that he's a very dangerous player, and I've seen him now firsthand play, so I'm definitely looking out for him. But I think my pick for Droëwors' team would be maybe I would say Siki, as I know him. You know, he plays for VXP, the academy team, and he's been consistently bringing out these crazy montages of the type of shots
Yep.
that he does as well. So I would say that if Siki goes loose tonight for Droëwors and he pops off. Yeah, I do think then they stand a very good chance to win as well.
Yeah, indeed, I believe so. In that kind of environment, you just want. I'm just hoping the comms are on. They're calm. They're really talking to each other. They're having fun. It is a six-man. So, we want to have good competition, but we also want to have fun with it. I believe Siki, if he's in the right mindset, in the right setting, I believe he can bring in those highlight shots. And it'll be nice. It'll be nice to
Mm,
see. Just a little
yeah.
showcase of our teammates right now.
That's,
Right.
that's definitely true. I think we're just waiting for these guys to get started. It seems that tonight is a bit of we have some technical issues, so there was a delay in the stream for which we are do apologize for. Then unfortunately, you guys can see Gavi G is not casting tonight. Unfortunately, what happened is because we had the PS4 guys joining and Gavi is on PS4, cross network play was not possible for Gavi, so I decided I will. I decided I will just stand in for him. But yeah, we've been trying our best, guys. We're trying to get things to you and get this talent on showcase. But we're just waiting now. The next technical issue that happened now was that one of the teammates of Siki's mic disconnected, and his Discord died at the moment. So we're just waiting for him to come back. Until then, Lazy and I will keep you company. As we said, this is a 6-man event hosted by RLX for the first time in a while, and for the first time ever, we have a prize pool sponsored by Link. If you guys want to check in the description of this video, you will see that there is a link to Link, a URL link to go check it out, see what they're all about, and maybe if you want to, you can get the app.
Indeed. Please follow. Please help her. It's a good initiative by them to help us sponsor this event. It's a really nice 6-man we're doing right now. Please go have the app a look. We really appreciate any sort of support we get. We're just beginning. This is like the infancy of our local scene. So any sort of support, any sort of support that we get, we really, really appreciate it, and we really like it if you could reciprocate with the same amount of support for the sponsors that we get. Okay, but it
Yeah.
seems like some of the players are spawning in. I think we're about to start, if
Yeah.
I'm correct.
We are about to start best of 7. What is your prediction, Lazy? What do you think is going to happen?
My gosh, this is actually a tough. I'll probably say this is probably the most balanced 6-man I've seen to date. This is a really hard one to get. I believe this will be definitely a close match, but I won't lie. I'm more interested to see what Droëwors can do here because of the teammates, because of the players in there. I know 2 of there, and then you have a dark horse Xbox guy, Xbox person. Let's see what we can happen, but. None taken away from the Biltong team. I do believe they also have a really good chance of taking it as well.
Yeah. I also think Droëwors is going to take it, and I think it's going to be 4 games to 2. But we'll see how it all plays out. I think if Droëwors can gel a little bit more than the other team, then the mechanical skill are just going to be too much for Biltong. But I do think there's going to be close games. It won't be blown outs.
No, definitely. I highly doubt we'll expect blownouts here, but this is a best of 7, so the first game is obviously going to be a feeler. They're trying to feel each other out,
Yes.
maybe get used to each other's playstyles, get used to the other player's playstyle. So we're seeing a really slow match for the time being, but I expect it to ramp up in a few minutes from now. But we have an open net. Can Shiro make it? Just misses it a little bit wide. Shiro trying again. Another side. Very close.
Close one there from Shiro, and we can see actually Biltong piling up the pressure a little bit there on Team Droëwors, which is going to make in the first game, that nerves can get to you if the other team puts pressure on you, and then you're prone to make a mistake. But we see Siki coming in with a nice air dribble against the backboard. Is he going to make it? No, Shiro with a nice clear. That's one thing, Shiro. Oh, and he actually clears it and puts it in goal. What? That's amazing.
Shiro's the one who's been been taking all the shots, really. He's been the one applying pressure, and he says, you know what, guys, it's okay. I'll come and finish this off as well. But it was a really good attempt by Siki taking an air dribble.
Yes.
Just wished his teammates would have helped him a bit there, just trusted him to get a rebound shot. But nonetheless, it's only the first game. There's still a lot of time left, so we can expect to see a lot more of those kind of plays happening.
Definitely, that's one thing that I know. So those of you who don't know, Shiro is previously known as Bayonet, who played for Plucky Club, and one of his big qualities and why Plucky Club did so well is because he's very defensive minded sometimes as well, which is sometimes really good when you play against, like for example this. It's good to have that player that's back, that's the solid anchor for the team, but who can play like a Franz Beckenbauer style where, if suddenly it requires of him to go out into attack, he can do that, transitioning from the defense to the offense, which he did exactly there to score that beautiful goal. So it will be interesting to keep a lookout for him and see how his playstyle also helps his team tonight.
Oh, definitely. It's really good to have someone who's defensive-minded like that, but can also make a transition to attack. It just shows that he is a very calculated and clever player, and that is a very dangerous thing to have in a player, because you can never really tell as an opposition if he's going to stay and defend or he's going to come out and just attack. But 1-0, still 2 minutes. We're seeing a lot of back and forth right now. Lots of high balls, I must say. We must try doing some infield passes, because it seems like every team is reading each other quite well.
Yes, I think it's sometimes good to have these big clears, but sometimes, like you mentioned, like if you do just that, it becomes a game of ping pong, where you just clear it and the other team clears it and you clear it again. So like you said, maybe they should mix it up a bit and maybe go for an infield pass or a nice little air dribble or something, just to catch the opposition off guard a bit.
Indeed. Right there we see Genti trying to pass on to Mr. Shakes, but he just got beat. It was well read. Mr. Pega with an open goal, and he equalizes it. He will not miss those. It was a bit of a error here. We see a bit of too much of a double commit by Siki and Genti trying to go for the same shot, but it's alright. They're only getting used to each other.
I think that
Sorry?
I think that's true what you're saying, like just getting used to each other, so it's not a big concern. These double commits are normal in these type of six-mans, especially in the first game. So they shouldn't read too much on that.
No, definitely not. But it's actually, a really good thing to happen in the first few games. So they know, okay, we're double committing, guys. Let's not try doing that. Let's just have our thing. They can always talk it out. It's a best of 7, so first game shouldn't really give you a good indication of what might be next. We're still trying to get a feel for each other. There's still a lot of games left to be played. But 2-0 right now. Easy. I do believe a 2-0. It's really not that hard to get 2 goals in a minute, I believe.
I think definitely if what Team Droëwors can also maybe look at, is just to focus on their comms, get the rotation going in this last minute. Oh, and we see a very close almost save there from Team Droëwors, but a nicely played shot from Mr. Pego.
Nicely missed shot. He actually beat all 3 people. I think nobody expected. Genti actually did a really good effort in trying to get the ball. And you see, the thing he did is he was on the wall, so he didn't have to spend so much boost, and he could get to the ball quicker. I think the thing he did was he braked and he lost all his momentum. If he didn't brake and he kept just accelerating, you can always tap it a bit and then just have a little bit of momentum. I believe he could have made that save. But really good effort by him nonetheless.
Definitely. I think this puts the momentum in Team Biltong's side, which will definitely give them even more confidence going into the next couple of games. But I would say Team Droëwors just need to focus on getting the rotations going. Just focus on the basic stuff, get that right, so that you're ready for the next games. It's still early games, so the best thing to do now is just to get your rhythm.
Exactly. So they shouldn't, like you said right now, they shouldn't actually put too much thought to it. They were like, guys, it was just the first game. We'll count it as the actual warm-up as opposed to the 2 games we had prior to this. But nonetheless, Biltong takes this match 3-0. The scoreline is an indication of how it was played. It was actually believe it was quite back and forth between the two people.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, I agree.
nonetheless, it's gonna be exciting to see what's gonna happen next.
It's going to be exciting. We see Siki just quickly, I think, restarting his internet.
Yes.
This is also, we haven't had many. You know, 60 ping or something. That's really awesome, and it makes for us tournament organizers it's so much easier. You know, less frustrating also to host these kind of tournaments because we don't need that constant restarting as well, which is very cool.
Oh, that's really nice as well. But you know, we got local servers, so we're seeing a lot of boom in the local scene. We're seeing a lot of tournaments happening. I mean, recently we had a really big tournament in the form of MGMS, and there's still, I believe, more lined up in the way. I know RLX has quite a few projects in its back pocket, which will be revealed to you in soon time. So, guys, there is a lot of things that's left to happen for the rest of the year. Please get in. Please join us. You know, we want to see it grow. We really love this game, and we want to see as much support as we can.
And as ladies say that, we are ready to go into the next match. So Team Biltong taking the first match 3-0. And so we start the next first match. Genty actually winning that kickoff for his team, even though the ball went back. And a nice clear there from Shakes. And Genty up very quickly. One thing I don't think we really have spoken about Genty that much, but he's also a relatively new player in the scene. And I've played a bit with him, and I must say his mechanical skill also really impressed me. He had some nice double touches the other day as well when we played, and I was really impressed by a young player who used to play for Cryptic. Coming up with such skill also, makes me very excited for the future of the scene with these young players up and coming.
Definitely, all these players here have extreme amount of potential to do well in the local scene. It's just they need a medium to show it off, and we are seeing it right now. They should use this to their full ability to show, guys, you guys are not the veterans. Like basically show the veterans, you guys are not the only top dogs around here. We're upcoming. You better be scared, and we're really coming for you. But a minute left. Lots of back and forth in the mid play. Lots of high balls, I must say.
Yeah.
Kind of shows that they're free to kind of fully commit to it as of yet.
Yeah, I think it seems like you said, AZ, they try and play it a bit safe, and a bit too safe is also not good because that you struggle then to also stamp your mark and authority on the game. And if the other team realizes that, and they start doing just the opposite of, they try to play and go for the shots, and it starts working for them, it's just going to put you and yourself and your teammates just so much pressure. So hopefully we see these guys, playing their game like we know they can play. And not be so defensive and a little bit hesitant, I think, going for certain shots and passes.
Exactly. It's almost like that was an awkward situation for the Droëwors team. I'm not really sure what exactly happened here. Mr. Bassai just touches a ruby and actually gets a nice bump, and Shakes just caught in the wrong side of the rotation. He actually did a really good rotation there. He came from the other side, but the ball went behind him. So in that kind of situation, you're just caught off guard and you have nothing to do but just watch the ball roll in. Bit of a disheartening thing, but 1-0. Still a lot of game time left, I believe. What do you think Biltong needs to do? I personally believe they just need a bit more confidence in their shots. It seems like they're just overthinking everything. And as I say that, Shiro just says, "Yep, you're right. I'm just gonna score."
And as you see there again, Shiro's coming in from defense quickly, very quicker than the orange players, just getting that ball past one player and then nipping it into goal, and he makes it 2-0 just like that. And I think one thing that I'm picking up is that Team Biltong is playing a faster game at the moment as well than the orange team. So the orange team, even though they might be in the right position and rotation, it's just because they're a little bit slow sometimes. And blue team is a bit. Oh, and you see a nice flick there, and Shiro coming in with the styles.
Oh my gosh, this was a complete team play. Pego with an excellent little flick. Bass just puts it high again, and Shiro just comes and puts in complete team play there. Everybody doing their part to get into like that play. A really good thing to see now is how many people start using that backboard for getting so many opportunities. Teams nowadays have to be really good at defending that backboard. It becomes really important, especially when you get to the higher levels of the game.
Yes, I think for a long time in South Africa, I remember like early 2017, there was a big talk in the scene like that we had to establish a meta for backboards because the one thing that people really struggled with was the backboard. So, oh, and a nice challenge there from Shiro. And again, like I mentioned, the speed of the Orange guys are just not up to par with what they need to do to be able to win. And a little bit of a misplay there as well, unfortunately. And Shiro makes the most of that opportunity and says, "Thank you very much. I will make it 4-0."
Easy dunk there in itself. The red team is actually just getting caught off guard. You're right. It's just the pace that the blue team is playing at. They're just playing at such a fast pace that the red team are being caught off. But I think the red team just needs to recollect and be like, guys, we can take them. We can play. They just need to focus more on talking to each other and say like, guys, I have it. Guys, I do it. I think maybe they hear each other that they're both going for the same ball and then they just stop in their tracks. You shouldn't be
Yeah.
doing that. If you say you got it, you gotta go for it no matter what. One
Yes.
of you guys has to touch that ball. You can't be like, oh, sorry, you take it, and then
Yeah.
you're both just staring at the ball.
Yeah, I think that's very true because you can't be hesitant in Rocket League, especially at the higher levels. Like you say, if that ball's up, you go for it. If you watch the pro streams, yes. Oh, and another goal from Shiro. So Shiro, as you guys have mentioned, bayonet. You know, traditionally a defensive player, but in this game, stamping his authority as well as a very calculated playmaker and also attacker by scoring 4 goals and 1 assist already, and standing at the top of the leaderboards as well.
Definitely. He's getting all the goals, all the glory. His teammates needs to be like, guys, can I score for a bit? But nothing take away from their teammates. Their teammates are doing an excellent job in maintaining pressure and actually opening up space for Sheer to take up these clean shots. And like you said, he's a defensive player. And if you are that defensive player, as I say that, I'll get to it. Genti tells me, please keep quiet and watch me score for once. As he comes in, Siki with an amazing dunk off the wall, and then Genti just easy open net to shoot at.
Very nicely done there. Siki challenging nice and early, very fast and aggressive, which gives the opportunity then for Genti to finish it off and bring a goal back, which will hopefully give them some confidence, going into the next minute. I mean, in Rocket League, you never say never, but, with the momentum not on your side at the moment, and being 4 goals down, it's a tough call. It's a tough ask, but it's doable. It's not impossible.
It's not impossible, but I do believe that Go should have given a bit of confidence, but they should definitely play like they did in that play. Just heads on, full on steam. It's 5-1. I think this is the perfect time to get their confidence up. Just go for shots, just go for the ball. Try to get comfortable with your teammates and situation right now. But I was mentioning before, Bayonet, as you mentioned, he's a defensive player. His other two teammates, this is a really good thing to have. It's like if your two teammates are pressuring quite a lot, you are really messing up your position. And then if he leaves an open net as a third player, all you have to do is touch the ball in. So nothing to take away from the other two people in Biltong. They're doing an
Yeah.
excellent job in helping Shiro get his goals.
Definitely, that's very true, and that's sometimes what people make the mistake of. If you watch any sport, the person who scores the goal or who makes the last play. We always try and give that person the credit, but we need to look at the team. How did they get to that play? How did they get to that last play to actually score the try or score the goal? And that is where we definitely need to credit teammates as well. And in Rocket League, it's not always that. The people breaking up plays in the middle of the field gets a lot of points or gets an assist even, but that's so important. The player that I always think about when I think of breaking plays up is the old Fireburner. Okay, he still plays, but I mean when NRG and when he used to play with Garrett G and Jacob when they were still a roster, he was so good at just breaking up the play and then either scoring himself or just getting a good assist for either his teammates. And that's really important in Rocket League as well. Just breaking up those plays sometimes and giving your teammates the opportunity to score a goal.
Damn, that is very, 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 very true. But Biltong winning 5-1 in this game. Again, they're leading 2-0 right now. What do you think Biltong is doing so much better than Droëwors right now at this stage, besides playing a faster game than them? But there
Mm,
should be something else. I don't believe that
yeah.
faster game should be all of it. But what do you think actually is going on, or what would you prefer
Yeah.
Droëwors to be? What would they
I,
expect them
I
to do?
yes, I think though if you look at what Biltong does really well at the moment is that they're spacing it out a lot, so we don't really see any double commits or players being on each other. Oh, and we see a kickoff goal in threes. Really?
Wow, that is
Okay.
that is very rare. Who didn't go for this shot? Siki
Ooh.
decides, you know what? I don't really like the ball, so I'm just gonna go for the corner boost because you guys didn't let me take the boost. So I was like, screw you guys, I'm gonna go for the ball, go for the boost. But nonetheless, it was a bit of a Siki was actually trying the fast kickoff there. He didn't quite stick it, but nonetheless, 2 seconds kickoff goal. Hopefully, this doesn't throw them off. Siki.
Hopefully.
Wow, they all actually changed their cars. Siki's on the Dominus and Genti went to the new Batmobile car as well. So they're like, guys, it's time for some freestyles.
It's interesting these change of like sometimes the mental tactics as well, like change, like in sports sometimes you change your boots or you change your shirt to
Yep.
something, just to refresh yourself mentally. And I think this is what some people in Rocket League also do, either changing a car or a decal or something. And I must say I tried as well sometimes, and it really works, or
Oh,
you feel
definitely.
it works, so props to them for doing
Definitely.
that, because something had to change. And yes, just as we say that, Siki brings it back within less than a minute. They reply back with 1 goal, and Siki up really quickly there. Nice little car control to put it into the net and equalize for Team Droëwors.
Full control. Biltong got a little bit too excited there. They were all going for an attack, but it was an excellent dunk by Genti to give a nice little lob pass in the middle. And Siki, all he had to do was do some stylish little flips and push it right in. But again, we're seeing
Yeah,
a lot of pressure by Droëwors right now. It's actually really good to see right now.
it is good. It's refreshing now to see this, because the past 2 games was all Team Biltong, so Team Droëwors putting under pressure. It seems like the rotation's also better, that they're not so much in each other faces all the time. Really helps them to attack more and space themselves out better, so that they don't give that much room for the other team to be able to attack and do with the ball what they want to. So this is really good to see as well, and positive. And as we see Siki single-handedly trying to bring his team back here. If you remember correctly, Lazy, Siki was the guy who missed that initial kickoff, and
Yep.
he's definitely redeeming himself by scoring 2 great goals to make it 2-1 and
So,
put his team in the lead for the first time in the series.
Sam is really good to see. I'm pretty sure that Dominus is doing wonders for him. Every time I play him, he actually plays the Dominus more and the Batman more. I actually was surprised to see him on the Octane this time. But, he's doing a really good job right now. He's actually playing a lot faster and a lot more confident right now. It's actually the boost his teammate needs to
Yes.
bring his team back. I mean, it's 2-0. You need four games to win. I mean, there's still many games to be played. But let's see Siki taking it off the wall. You should try passing it to Genti. Genti actually trying to go for the bump there. Interesting choice there. Let's see. Shake's really smart there by Shakes. You can see him there. Both his teammates were up in that kind of situation. As I see that, is this going to be a goal? Genti! Well, let's just be honest, guys. The world's most toughest goals to score are open nets.
That is true. I can attest to that sometimes, when you, especially in like a high pressure situation as well, like, playing on stream or something, those are sometimes really difficult. So Genty shouldn't feel bad. But the thing is that what should he be doing, Lazy? How does one recover from something like that? Because I mean, it does sometimes get to you if you miss a shot that 99 times out of 100 I would have put that in, and now I miss. How do you recover from that?
In the middle of a game, to be honest, personally myself, I'll probably be kind of disappointed and swearing myself quite a bit. But honestly speaking, it's an open net. You are in the lead. It would have hurt more if that was the equalizing goal, but you still are in the lead. You should just let that go. You are playing well. Just be like, okay, no, it's fine. I didn't make it. I'll make sure I make it the next round. That is my thing. Usually, if there's a mistake, I'll never do it again. And of course, you try to learn from your mistake in any case.
How important is your teammate support in situations like that?
Oh, it's very important. I mean, you don't want to have your teammates say, how could you miss that? What is wrong with you? This is the most open net. You had the top corner, you had the bottom corner, you had the middle, but you decided to, no, I'm going to just shoot it to the other side. It's really difficult, actually. You can thread a needle between 3 players, put it in the top right corner, but having so many options to shoot in an open net is actually the most difficult decision you can actually make. in a game of Rocket League when it's 3v3 and you're moving at such a high pace.
Definitely, and we see they're close. The pressure is still coming in from Team Droëwors. A nice clear there from Genty from the backboard. I think that's also one thing they improved on is their backboard defense. Because, like I said in the beginning, South Africa 2017, a lot of teams were struggling with backboards. And a nice pass from Siki, and a close one. It seemed like Shakes was trying to pass back to Siki, which would have made some great team plays and get the synergy going for Team Droëwors as well. But like I said, the backboard defense of South Africans have really improved in the last couple of months as well. So less and less we see goals just being easily scored from the backboard. It's usually more difficult these days. But you still see teams, attacking the backboard, and a close one there as well from Team Droëwors. I think a little bit of panic going in there from Team Biltong. But fortunately, they survive and they're still in the game.
Oh, definitely here we're seeing 20 seconds in. They just actually need one goal to equalize it, but Droëwors are doing an excellent job in defense, just keeping the ball out and just stopping any sort of play developing from the Biltong side. A few seconds counting in. They should really need to just play safe. They're all bunched up in the corner. This could be bad. In situations like that, you don't want to push up as much, but they got lucky. Droëwors brings one back. I believe the change was actually very perfect for them. Like you said, nice little refresher for them.
Yes, I was actually be really interested to know who called that change, because sometimes it takes a captain's initiative to say, you know what, guys, I'm going to change my car, and then the other guy's like, okay, cool, yeah, let me do that too. And I believe it was Siki who went first to change his car. I'm not sure, but maybe that was this, that just that change of mentality in the team that they needed. That's just a refresher, and it seemed to work. And they are back in the series.
No, definitely agree. I'd actually agree with you. Siki probably looks like the guy who feels like he's the one that's making shots, making the shot calling, in their team. But it seems like it's working for them, and if it is, then why not use it? But this is I believe this is our fourth game. It's Biltong is up by 2, Droëwors by 1. Still, they can make a really good comeback. I would love to see a comeback by the Droëwors team. I think the Biltong team got a little bit too confident after the first 2 games, and they might have gotten caught off guard by the Droëwors team right now.
Yeah, and I think the momentum is definitely now on Team Droëwors' side, which is very interesting because, when you play a game of momentum, it's very interesting and exciting for the viewers, especially because the shifts can happen so quickly. And when it does happen, always exciting stuff to watch. As we see here, fast plays, aerial plays from these guys. Genty taking his time to clear the ball. Siki a bit out of position there. He's going back to get some boost while his teammates can attack the ball, and Shakes in a lot of space over there. We see Team Droëwors, Team Biltong, a little bit crowded there at the back, but they do recover nicely and start spacing out, which is something they've been doing well. And a nice double save there from the orange team, showing that their defense has increased a lot since the first series as well. I think if this first minute is up, it will be the first time in the series that we actually haven't seen a goal, which is promising for both teams and signs of a tight series to come.
Oh, indeed, they're actually playing a lot more closer to each other right now. But Siki and Genty it seems like Siki and Genty are the ones doing most of the attacking, and Shakes deciding to just be the last man back. I wouldn't necessarily agree to that kind of situation, because in threes you want to make sure that everybody gets their own rotation. But if it's working, let it work. Maybe they just want to see if it worked in the second game. They want to continue doing it right now. But 3.5 minutes, ball is traveling quite back and forth in one side.
Yeah, Shakes, they're coming a bit, bit more assertive, attacking the ball a bit more now, which is a good thing to see. A lot of demos, a nice save there from Bastaf, accurately predicting Siki's shot, and Bastaf is up. Oh, he missed that. Could that be a tactical fake? Oh, nice clear. That miss from Bastaf, even though he definitely went for it to score, that miss threw the defender off a lot, which we call in Rocket League tactical fakes and calculated, which it really isn't. But yeah, it's just.
I think we need a quick chat that says faking every time we whiff. That would be probably the most used quick chat ever. But hey, if it works, it works. But it's actually good to see the amount of good shots that are coming in right now. Lots of high aerial balls, lots of hard shots compared to the first few games we had, which were fluff shots. or poo shots, as Mr.
Yes.
Mark would like to call them. Poo
Yes.
goals.
Yeah, bro.
But
Yeah.
really nice to see.
And I like the variation, you know, a little bit of aerials here and there, bit of ground play. Some people taking it slow in defense, taking their time to clear the ball well. Others, you know, rushing it. So I also like this. It shows that the teams are really getting the rhythm and shaking things up. Because you know, if you are going to try to play one style only, like we saw maybe in the first few minutes of the series, it's not going to be worthwhile for any of the two teams. Rather, just you know, switch things up. You know, play your play style, mix with your team, and hopefully, you know, you can get one.
Definitely. These teams have actually, I believe, now fully warmed up to each other. They're playing really quick and really well right now. I mean, they're still 0-0 and we're already down with 1 minute 30 seconds left. I mean, this could go any way. I wouldn't say one team has advantage over the other. Everybody's pressuring equally on each side.
And we
Ziki?
see a nice pass there from Siki's teammate. And Bastaf up very quickly. I like that, you know, in the defense to go up very quickly and clear the ball before the other team can make advantage of the backboard. And the ball just there in no man's land, but Bastaf quickly to turn around. And actually, a nice pass there from Shakes. I think he was maybe expecting one of his
Yep.
teammates to be over there. But
Mm.
Genty now over there where... and Genty almost with a shot to score.
Oh my,
Shakes
that's
is going
perfect
up.
setup.
Oh, and Mr. Pego putting his tumbler in the way and saying, no, not today.
Bastaf just saved that thing was turning black. It was almost 80% dark. It was going in, but he did a great job in saving that shot. But the amount of pressure Droëwors are building in is actually scary. And we see a long shot coming in, and it goes in. Droëwors just got cut off rotation there.
A nice shot there from Mr. Pego. I think maybe Shakes was also initially thinking might touch the backboard, but I see he went for it, and unfortunately, the field side flip, man.
Oh, that must have been a difficult thing to read. I wouldn't have gone for it because it seems like it will touch the backboard. Actually, shots like that are really hard to judge. Where you feel like it's going to touch the backboard, but it skims the post, the topmost post, and just slides in. Those are the really hard ones to judge. But 20 seconds left. They really needed a quick counter attack. I think they should just go all in at this stage. They shouldn't try being defensive at all.
I think so too. They don't have anything to lose. So rather go all out, lose 3-1 or 2-0 than, you know, not trying your utmost in offense and then not scoring anyways.
Not really. But actually, well played to all of this team. Oh my, it's still up. Can it keep it up? Nope. They will let it drop. But Biltong taking in. This was a really, really close game. Only one goal scored. Really back and forth. Biltong is up by 3-1. They just need one more game to actually take the series, but I wouldn't count Droëwors out at all.
I wouldn't either. Even though Biltong is on match point, the momentum I wouldn't say is necessarily on their side. This is a very close series now, and if Droëwors can pull one back here, they're going to put a lot of pressure on Biltong as well. Because you know when you are on that, let's say, get into that mentality of, oh, okay, I'm on match point, you know, then suddenly you start not playing your style, you start going for weird stuff, and you start becoming very defensive and, you know, hesitant. So from my advice would be for Biltong, you know, just to play like you continue playing. But for Droëwors, if they can keep up this pressure, I'm sure that they can, you know, pull one back and make the series very interesting.
Definitely. I believe Droëwors needs to change its tactic. I think one thing we haven't seen are demos. And demos are so effective, especially when you're in a fast-paced game like this. I'm pretty sure you'll catch them off guard. Droëwors can start implementing demos into the game. I do believe they can take a lot more games, considering that I believe they are playing faster than Biltong right now.
Yes, I do think, and I think it started with Siki changing goals and just pulling his team back with 2 goals in the last 2 games ago, and you can see the team morale, you know, Shakes and Genty lifted their game as well, and you know suddenly it looks really good and promising for them as well. But we see there an unfortunate double commit from Team Biltong and almost from Mr. Pego coming in to score a goal, but unfortunately it did not for Team Biltong.
I won't lie to you, when I saw his name for the first time, I thought it said Mr. Pedo, so that was kind of awkward. But we won't talk about that. Mr. Pego goes in for the shot, but Genty doing a good job at taking that away. in the corner right now. Oh, gets an excellent little dunk. Center shot. No one can follow it up. But
Shakes there
Shakes.
waiting in their guns and getting the boost as well. I think he could have maybe gone for a better clear, maybe tried to set up one of his teammates for a center or infield pass, but initially it worked.
Like
Calculated.
you said.
And
You
with the Shakes.
You just saw into the future about 5 seconds right there.
Shakes being like one of these chess players who like calculates his move like 15 moves in advance, getting the clear, working his way all around to defense, and then passing to Siki, who finishes off nicely, and a good start for Team Droëwors.
No, definitely here. I think one of the things that Biltong is actually struggling with, but they're actually getting away with it quite a bit, is that the rotations aren't, as I say that, okay, I'm gonna keep quiet. Mr. Pedo, or Pego, sorry, scores a nice little long shot. He's actually gotten quite a few of those long shot goals.
Yes.
I think, and they're on target and quite powerful as well. The Droëwors team just don't expect it. It's probably that Tumblr giving him all the power, but well played, Pego. He's doing some really nice snipe shots. They need to be careful of his shots right now. Oh, Mr. Shakes! Oh, what a shot by Mr. Shakes. It was actually a really good pass to him as well by Siki, pushing it up there. Shakes way up before the time and puts it down and below the oncoming player. Well played by the team.
Definitely in comms there, Siki was saying I'm going to pass, and Shakes was maybe also saying that, you know what, I'm up front, and it worked out very nicely. And the team plays already 2 team goals coming in here for Team Droëwors, which I mean is in threes one of the most promising things is if you start finding each other with passes and with shots. Oh, and a close one there from Bayonet or Mr. Shiro, almost putting that in net, and immediately the quick counter attack coming in from Team Droëwors, which puts the blue team under pressure immediately.
Indeed, now we're seeing a 2-1 lead, but there's still 3 minutes, 20 seconds remaining, a lot of game time left, and you know the game just keeps on getting quicker and quicker. The 2 goals scored was actually done with the help of Mr. Shakes. I think he's doing a good job being up front. I think they should try putting him up front a bit more now. They're actually trying it out, and it's working out quite well for them.
And I think this is where we can, you know, see this change, like again, like the adaptation of the team. Like initially, just to give the team that defensive solidity, you know, he was a bit more defensive, and now that everything's starting to work and gel for them and they're warm, he's becoming a bit more and, you know, forcing the game how he wants to play the game, which is awesome to see. So great stuff from Shakes.
Oh, great stuff for them. Ooh, close one. Siki's actually doing a really good job in rotation. I believe he has the best rotation out of all the 6 people here. The good thing he does is, one thing in threes you're meant to do is, like, if you're rotating in, you want to come in from the side opposite the plate. Why? It gives you a whole view of the goal and you have a lot of room to work with. Instead of being the exact same side as the ball play, then you're left in an awkward situation where you're trying to defend with behind you, which is not something you want. I think he's doing an excellent job in showcasing that quite a bit.
I can't agree with you even more, Lazy. I mean, that's one thing that Siki has been improving a lot as well. Like his mechanics are good, but his rotations, you know, especially like you mentioned, like his back post rotations are really good as well. You know, coming in from the back post and just waiting for that ball to drop to him. Oh, and I think that might have crept in anyways, but it might have go down as an own goal. Mr. Pego going up quickly, putting the ball on net, and Siki, yeah, that was going in. So Siki trying his best, but it was so close, and very, very close one from Siki to save again, doing that back post rotation, and he was there, but unfortunately he just couldn't get there in time.
I think just wasn't expecting that shot to actually come in quickly because he just went around, probably to try and collect some boost, and then a really hard shot coming in from Mr. Pego. He's been getting really, really good shots right now. They should be careful. I think the Team Droëwors, you know, Shiro was doing all of the goals in the beginning. I think they tried shutting him down, and now Mr. Pego's like, well, you took care of one guy, but you're not going to take care of everyone. Oh, but, well, as I say that, I take everything back. Shiro, you were doing well in the first game, mate, but, yeah. Okay. Another open net that didn't work out, but all right, we'll move on. I take everything back. Mr. Pego is doing really good job right now. Kenty putting it high in the middle. We'll see what happens. They really need to get this ball. Shakes, excellent little clear, and even actually a good rotation in front too.
Very good rotation again, and I think in South Africa that's one thing that he's been lacking a lot. I think with the players, a lot of focus is just get the squishy plays, get the fancy stuff, and it doesn't. Usually, a lot of those are low percentage for the skill level South Africa is currently at. So it's refreshing to see when people can actually rotate decently, because that is something South Africa really needs to improve on a lot more in all ranks, I believe.
No, definitely, I agree with that wholeheartedly. Like guys like Squishy, all the pro players that you see and you love and admire, those guys have their basics, their fundamentals
Mm.
rotation, getting shots correctly. They're strong. That's the reason why they can pull off all those crazy shots. If you're not, if your fundamentals or your rotations are off, you're never going to be able to get the shots that you want. So work on that first, and then go for those highlight plays that you love to do so much.
Yeah.
It will help you even more to get those highlight plays. But
That's very true.
first overtime, 2-2. This is game five. Droëwors are on match point. So Biltong are on match point. Droëwors really need to win this so that they can continue and have a chance at that prize pool. Sponsored
Yeah.
by Link. You see that? That was a perfect transition. I expect money for that as well, somewhere, somehow. I don't know. I practice that.
That's very nice. It's almost as good as a transition that we see from offense to defense here from Team Droëwors. Very nicely done there. Their defensive plays have been improved a lot, and that's why they are still in this game as well. Because I've seen some pretty nice shots from Yopigo, Mr. Bigo being saved. So it just shows that. Team Droëwors have been saying that they're up for the defensive tasks, and a nice leave there from Siki because Shakes was in a better position as well
that,
for that save.
that was really good decision making. Realizing, oh, this is an open net. Jiro trying to do something. He actually has no boost to do anything with that, but he still tried his best there. And a heads up play with him. His teammates tried helping out, but Shakes just got demoed by Mr. Pego.
Yeah, nice demo there. Just because Shakes was a bit boost off, but he was in a dangerous position to play the ball. So a very good them as well, coming in there from Mr. Pego, who's been playing really well in this game as well. And and a double commit save that's being missed by two members of Team Orange, unfortunately for them. But still, Team Biltong couldn't capitalize on that, which is unfortunate for them. And Bastaf putting in pressure here. Oh, and a nice turn there from Shiro. Just not putting it on target yet. And is that going on target? Close one. Oh, he also missed. That's so close. Great pressure from Team Biltong, putting there on by Mr. Pego and Bastaf G. Close one, almost coming out on top in this match of best of 7. Unfortunately, they still have to play.
Biltong are relentless right now. The amount of shots they've been putting on goal ever since the overtime started. Droëwors really needs to get this out of their side and just take a breather because Biltong are doing so well. Oh, that could have been bad. But Genti, good thing he was patient and decided to help his teammate out. But really, finally, you can see that every time they try taking it out, a member from Biltong just puts it back in and the pressure just continues over and over again. And Basta, the person who was doing all the calculated fakes this entire series, decides, guys, I had enough. I'm actually going to score this and seal the deal for my team.
Very nice play there from Team Biltong. I mean, 2 minutes and 30 seconds of overtime is very long. So I think just mentally they were just saying, you know what, we can take this. This is our chance. Give it our all. And they were just going all out attack. And yeah, they actually managed to take this 4-1. Which was a bit more lopsided than I initially thought the series score was going to be. But the games were actually really close towards the end. So still a good show match that was being put up by these fantastic players, the up and coming players of South Africa. So really interesting to see this in action as well, how it played out.
No, it's good. It was a really good showcase of the up and coming talent we have going on in the local scene. I mean, we really need the new players coming in, challenging all the people that have started playing ever since last year. So it's great to see it, great showcase here. We're seeing, none taken from any of the players. They all played exceptionally well. They tried their best. But Biltong, really close matches, being the better people, being the better team. And congratulations to them. They will get their prize pool of 600 Rand. Congrats to all of them. I think they can probably get themselves some nice meals for tonight. They have the dinner sorted, I guess, for the night.
Yeah. But Lazy, it's also up to us to choose the MVP of the entire series.
Ooh,
I mean, I'll
that
give you
is
the like. Let's discuss it maybe, and I'll give you the final honors to decide who you think it should be.
okay.
So I was thinking, like the Team Droëwors, I think Siki played out of his mind towards the end as well. Shakes really, stamped his authority, and they played really well, as well as Genty also, having some nice passes in place with his teammates as well. But I think the MVP has to go to one of the Biltong players, and initially I think Bustov or Mr. Datkins played really, really well. But it's got to be for me between Mr. Shiro and Mr. Pego. I think they scored some amazing boomers, some amazing goals. I know a nice little mechanical aerial goals from both of those players, Shiro and Mr. Pego. What do you think, Lazy, about those two guys? I think it has to go to either one of them.
I agree with you full-hearted. That's actually a very difficult choice, to be honest with you. Gashir was doing an excellent job in the first two games, then Mr. Pego took over in the latter games, and well, so it's really tough to choose between them. But if I were to say it, considering the overall performance, I would actually go with Mr. Pego. Even though he didn't
Mm,
show up as much in the first two games, I believe he was
mm.
the consistent one out of all of them. He was a
Yeah,
really patient guy. He was doing really good shots on goal. He was helping his team out a lot in defense, in passing, and everything. He was the consistent player. So I would personally give it to Mr. Pego.
yeah. So then we congratulate Mr. Pego, aka Joshua, on winning tonight's MVP award as well. As we've seen in the past, people who was MVPs of these six-man series, they went on to become great players in South Africa. One example springs to mind immediately, and that would be Samurai Werti,
Yes.
currently playing for the VXP Academy team, the captain as well. And he played in one of our six-man series as well. I think even before RLX was official, like we start just doing
Yes.
these streams, and after that it was like his breakout moment. People started noticing him, and and I think that is also how he got exposure to be where he is at today.
No, definitely. I believe Six Man was lately. He could have been the poster boy of Six Mans. The guy who appeared out of nowhere, played out of his mind, won MVP. People noticed him, and look at him now. He's actually, I believe, he's the captain of the academy team, if I'm not correct.
Yes, yes,
If I'm not
that's
mistaken, yeah.
correct. Yeah,
He's the captain of the VXB Academy team. So you can see that the amount of strides he made over such a short period of time. So this Six Mans are a showcase of up and coming talent. Today we had some PC players against some Xbox players. So congrats to Team Biltong. Congrats to Mr. Pego. I believe you played exceptionally well. I expect you're still growing. There's a lot of potential. You are gonna keep on growing, and you guys should just enjoy the game. I don't think there's actually a skill ceiling for this game. I mean, pros don't have skill ceilings for this game.
yeah.
You can only improve. So, thank you all for joining us. By the way, are we gonna do an interview or we're gonna sign off?
Let me actually see if Josh
Yeah,
is available. That could actually be a really good idea to have him
yeah.
come in and
Just
do an interview with us. Yeah, let me drag him in. Yeah. All right.
hmm,
Mr. Pego,
Yeah,
Mr. Pego.
can you
Hello.
hear us?
yeah, I
Can you
can.
hear us loud and clear? Well done, man. I don't know if you heard, but the honors of being the most valuable player for tonight's six-man series actually was voted for and went to you.
Thanks, man.
Yeah, you're live on stream at the moment, so we're just having a short interview with you. So, Lazy and I would just like to gather your thoughts on tonight's game. So, firstly, just talk us through that. I mean, you guys started off really well. Then Team Droëwors came back at you guys, pulling one game back. But then at the end,
Yeah.
you guys were just relentless and then ultimately winning the series. So, just talk us through that motions.
Um, I think we definitely that one game that we lost, cutting rotations a little bit, and we just picked up. In the next game, we saw what we were doing wrong, changed it up.
Yeah, definitely, because we could see that. I mean, like we was be speaking about the rotations as well. Like in the first games, like, it's also seemed that you guys found each other as a team much quicker than, for example, Team Droëwors. Like they passing place came only late in the series, and by that
Yeah.
time, I mean, you guys were really warmed up. But tell me, like, what was the communications like during the games? I mean, I don't think you guys have really played together at all before. So, I mean, how did you guys
No,
do communication?
haven't. Um, it was simple really. Every time somebody had to go, well, somebody goes for it, then somebody calls, or the person who goes for it calls for somebody to come back. Just keeps on going like that. But the passing, it was good. Like we all had good sense of vision of where we were on the map. We were in the right spaces at the right time. I think that's what really got us the wins.
Yeah, that's awesome. I mean, Lazy, do you have any questions for Mr. Pego, tonight's MVP?
Well, first of all, congrats. You played exceptionally well. I believe you were the most consistent out of everyone. There was a switch that happened. I mean, the first few games sure was doing all the goal scoring, and then you decided to come in and take over. Basically, was that a switch that you guys did, or you just decided I'm not letting him have any more of the spotlight?
No, no. I think I just got some great passes in the last few games. That's also really important, you know. It's not always the shots. That's the most important part. It's also the really good passes from the team. And I felt like our passing was better in the last few games. So yeah,
No,
Yeah,
definitely. You guys did have more of the control in that game, but congrats to you. You're playing really well. I expect, we all expecting you to be the next person who's going to show up in the scene quite well. Congrats. Good luck with that as
yeah,
well, dude.
thank you so
yeah.
much.
Yeah, thanks for the interview, Joshua. All the best to you guys. I know Dexterity has some up and coming games in VS Gaming. So yeah, all the best for you and
Yes,
your team,
yes.
and hopefully it goes well, man.
Thank you very much.
Yeah. Cheers, bro.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Right. So, Lazy, I mean, that concludes things for tonight. So, as we mentioned previously, tonight was very interesting for a lots of different reasons. In the beginning we had the unfortunate technical issues, but I mean those were sorted out later on. So I hope you guys still enjoyed the stream. We had some quality games on Showcase tonight. I feel like some very close games. Before our eyes, we could see how teams develop. How their play styles. Were adapting to what was necessary to be able to stay in these games as well. So from a technical point of view, from Rocket League, this is also very good for for the also up and coming players to watch this and see what do I need to do to be able to make it to the next level, like either be it getting into VS gaming, getting a team going for ACGL, or just reach the next rank in Rocket League. Maybe you're a plat player, you want to get to diamond,
Yep.
or whatever. Just watch these games, see what these guys do, see how they adapt, and hopefully you guys can learn from it as well. I think from my side, Lazy, it was awesome to cast it with you. I really do appreciate it. Appreciate you giving up your Wednesday evening to do this for RLX. We really enjoy having you as one of our casters as well. And
No, thank you.
yeah, a big shout out as well to Link again. If you guys just want to check in the description of this video, we have the link to the URL to Link, which is linkapp.co.za, which is a app that how you basically try and play a crucial role in your community by reporting like service delivery issues, safety related incidents, etc., etc. So check out the app. It has many features. It's available on the App Store as well as on Google Play. And they sponsored tonight's tournament as well with a 600 Rand prize pool, which will be broken down into a part for the winners and a part for the losers, fortunately, as well. So even though these guys are maybe bowing out tonight's games on a lower note than Team Biltong, Team Droëwors, these guys will also get a part of the prize pool as well, which is awesome. Just from my side again, just thanks for all the viewers, everyone tuning in. We really do appreciate it. This was great fun for us. We will be having another six mans in 2 weeks' time, more or less. We'll keep you updated on
Ooh,
that.
wow.
So, and there will be hopefully another prize pool. But yeah, we will announce everything as soon as we know all the deets. And yeah, from my side, thanks you and good night. Lazy, you can sign us off, man.
Thank you very much. Thanks for having me. It was a really fun thing. I always love, it's only my second time casting, but I love to cast. I actually love seeing players, love analyzing games. So thank you for having me as well. Thank you to all the viewers who actually stuck around. We really appreciate any sort of support you gave us while having good fun. Thank you all for coming along. Thank you to RLX. Please visit their site, visit their Twitter. They have lots of things to help you out. Lots of they're doing an excellent job in helping us grow the community. Thank you everyone for joining us, and we will see you soon with another 6 months. Thank you.